Is it recording? Hello! Today I'd like to talk about the importance of a community college education on allyship. And before I do that, I want to show you something. And I hope I don't put it upside down. This is my Africana. Let me show you. This is my Africana Studies bachelor's degree. And, of course, that doesn't make me an expert. But I think I have enough credit to speak on it. Also, I want to let you know that this is just my opinion. It's not fact. It's not based on science. It's not, I don't know if it's shared by others. But yeah, even so, I'm going to share it with you. I want to say that education, higher education, in Africana studies was so instrumental to me as a person growing up as an African American that I think it's so essential to allyship. And there's 5 reasons I've come up with that I think make it essential. The first thing is that it contextualizes our education. The library of presentations and books, and seminars, and papers on particular subjects related to our group that we want to ally with can be vast, and it can, in that sense, be really overwhelming. And if you're going in without any contextualization, you're going to get, I think, overwhelmed. You're going to have maybe a sort of lopsided, in some cases, education. And the community college, even just a history course or something like political thought, any course that you take in community college related to the group you want to ally with, whether that's African Americans, Latino Americans, Asian Americans, LGBTQI, LGBTQIA, any group, whether that's in America or in the diaspora, we need context. We need context so bad. And so the community college will help contextualize that, and it will do it in a way that's broad, and will give you the touchstones that are so important, and help you contextualize your touchstones. Like, for example, being aware that you're an African American, but having your history start with slavery in grade school, that really shapes not only how we think about ourselves, but also how others think about us. And so having someone pull back much, much further and be aware of the history before the triangular trade and the enslavement of African Americans not only fills us with a sense of pride, but helps properly contextualize us and our story. And so that's important for allyship. We have to come with the right frame of reference, and so community college will help pull that back in a way that not only we can say, yes, we came from Africa, but yes, we came from Africa. These were the 3 kingdoms, etc., etc. These are the people. This is actually what happened. This is actually the thought process of what happened. that sort of thing is going to be covered in lectures. Um, Looking at something or some authors like Toni Morrison, Zora Neale Hurston, Langston Hughes, and W.B. Du Bois, we're going to learn the history of what created that thought, that created the book, or created the work, and that I think fills it with much more depth, right? So we need that. We don't need to just be certainly read works by African American authors, or read works not just to talk about African Americans, but read works by uh, the group you want to ally with. But read works with the history in mind, and that it's not that it can only come from a community college, but it certainly helps. It's very cost effective to have it come from a community college. Right? I feel like I spent a lot of time on that point. The second point is, in a lot of ally spaces, or in a lot of spaces, the general idea is that it is not the quote-unquote minority group or oppressed group job to educate you in the general sense. And so a lot of times we can flounder, and our natural response is, well, if you don't teach me, how will I learn? And it's the understanding, at least from the oppressed group, well, that's kind of your burden to carry. But if you look at something like the community college system, the professors and instructors in these classes, it's literally their job to educate you, and not taking advantage of their resources, leaving a lot on the table. And so, do take advantage of it. It is their job to educate you, okay? I mean, you in a general sense, not you, the person watching the video, but you in a general sense. It is their job to educate us. Alright. Third point is that we get to engage with seminal authors on the subject. It is the good fortune of the 21st century that anybody, anywhere can write a book and publish a book and have it be sold. The cool thing about professors and instructors is that they have their books and their syllabi and their course timeline reviewed by a board, and that board serves as a checks and balances to make sure, that we're getting a good education. So they're responsible for helping us discover seminal authors on particular subjects. Going from the beginning until now. And so that gives us a wider range of thoughts on particular ideas. Whereas if we were left to our own devices, we could do it. But again, we might get a little overwhelmed and frustrated, and that is not something I think that we want for allies to experience. Overwhelm and frustration is certainly not my goal. So that's that third point. It helps us engage with seminal authors on particular subjects. Then the fourth point is that it helps us engage with others on particular subject matters. When we are doing individual education in we can sometimes do it in a silo, and that prevents us from having our ideas be challenged. And so the people that are in our classes at community college have a vested interest in the subject matter. Even if someone says, "Oh, I'm just doing it for the general education requirement," they still chose that what out of a slew of classes, and so there's that vested interest. At least there's at least some desire to learn. So being able to take advantage of those opportunities to converse about the subject matter 16 or 32 times is so essential in helping us form and reform ideas about particular aspects of struggles and history and political thought and ideas and things like that. Yeah. And the fourth thing, it's really cost effective. It's a cost effect. It's a little bit expensive. I think the last I checked, it was about $80 a unit, which plus books, plus this, plus that, is expensive. But I think for what it does, in that it creates, it's a very broad survey of any particular aspect of uh, the group that you want to ally with. That's probably the most cost effective. Now, notice I didn't say inexpensive. It's very cost effective. It's 16 weeks. It's an hour and a half, or an hour and a half per day, maybe 2 times a week, and then you get so much out of it. But like anything, this is only gonna be as effective as the energy you put in. So if you go in there and you just want to check a box, then it's not going to be as effective as if you go in there and you're really interested in learning. But what this doesn't make you, as I said at the beginning of this video, is an expert in your allied group's struggle. It certainly starts you off on a good path, but the learning, I don't think, ever stops. So that's essential to remember. It will help put you on the right path. It will give you access to some of the big ideas. It will give you bibliographies, which are so essential. Fill your library with those. Fill your YouTube subscriptions with those. Fill your computer with those. And do engage with them. But I would say start here with what we can afford, which is the community college level. There's absolutely it's essential, at least in my opinion, to do that. And a word to people who sit on boards at community colleges or are chancellors at community colleges. Please, do include, don't try, do include more courses taught by individuals in particular groups and cultures and spaces, because I think probably the hardest thing is to have someone who doesn't share that space try to teach about that space. It is so difficult, and so if we can increase the amount of people engaging um, and teaching in those from those spaces, I think we'll be on a good track. So that's all I wanted to share today, and I would like to say I am more than happy to hear your opinions, ideas. Um, what did you agree? Did you not agree? And why? And, and what are your thoughts in general? If you liked what I had to share, if you can give me a thumbs up, a like, and if you want to hear more from me, not necessarily about this topic, but just in general, please go ahead and subscribe. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Bye-bye.